Hi, hello students. Welcome to LTX classes. This is me SPR. Today we're going to deal with the concepts called geography concepts. So this part of this series you'll be learning geography concepts. So most of the concept that is important for your geography preparation in prelims and also which is part of the mains GS1. So everything will be covered detailed manner by me SPR that will be helping in your so-called UPSC preparations. Remember guys, this video will change your perspective of understanding and clearly understanding what is important for your UPSC and important topics that are present in the UPSC. Today we're gonna discuss about a topic called seismic waves. Okay, seismic waves will be completely discussed by me through this video. I'll be providing a concept clarity in the seismic waves. First of all, seismic waves means what? And also, is there any other names of seismic waves? Seismic waves are also called as the earthquake waves. So what is that? That is earthquake waves. So the name itself provided one thing for you. Earthquake waves means how it could be produced. It is produced mainly because of the earthquake. So earthquake is a natural phenomena. So mostly which is the reason that so called seismic waves has erupted or started. And also can the seismic waves can be formed with the other activities, which means other than so called earthquakes, is there any possibility of formation of so called seismic waves? Let us see into it detailing. Not only just we see earthquakes, there is also other reasons that can instigate the occurrence of the so called seismic waves, or which can stand as the reason for the causage of the seismic waves, that is volcano. So volcanic expression, or volcanic eruption. So when volcano erupts, there will be a change in the sub layer of the earth, or the magma will be melted and many other changes will happening that also instigate the so called seismic waves. And also next thing is magma moment. So magma moment means in the subsurface layer of the earth there is a layer called magma that keeps on moving, so which is also a main reason for the seismic waves. And one more reason that can be a natural reason for the seismic waves is landslides. So huge landslides, hill regions or some other big mountain slides, so it can cause the so called seismic waves. So here there will be a big hill present over here. If some stones or something or some other natural or any other reasons is melting the subsurface, then whole the top layer will slide over. So this will create vibrations inside the stones and also between the stones, and because of the frictional force between them and also pressure forces between them, so that will automatically causes the creation of the waves are called as seismic waves. So what does really happen? So seismic waves means earth start vibrating, so the vibration occurs, so this is called as seismic waves. And also can be formed mostly in a natural phenomena, we know that. Can it be instigated by the human made, or can it be artificial? So human made seismic waves is also possible. What is that human made seismic waves? Mostly explosions means quarries, and also you can see that explosions such as nuclear explosions, these things can also cause so called seismic waves. So it can also be man made or human made, so that it can instigate the causage of the so called seismic waves. And next, mostly this seismic waves is caused inside the earth, so earth interior. And also seismic waves can also be used, okay, here it starts from the earth surface, okay, earth's interior, not earth surface, it starts from the earth's interior, we know that is for clarity. But now, why this seismic waves is used, how you can utilize this seismic waves for the positive, which means any other usage of this seismic waves means one thing for clear, this seismic waves can be used to study the structure, of the earth. So here internal structure of the earth, structure of earth not just external structure. It is used to study mostly internal structure. Internal structure means you know that earth has different layers inside here: core, mantle and crust. So but thing is that, do you know that how, who could have found such things? Nobody entered inside the earth and found something present over there. Okay, how do you have found that? So it is based on the just called seismic waves. So seismic waves are acted as a source for finding so called internal structure of the earth. How could it be possible? Because the seismic waves are not the same. Seismic waves are of different types. So each seismic waves has each different types of feature. So the based on the refraction. So based on the refraction and reflection. So based on the refraction and reflection of the so called seismic waves. So when the seismic waves is enter into the earth or travel through the internal sides of the earth, it will be facing different types of features, which means some moments it face as so called refractions and some moments it face reflection. So based on the characteristics of the seismic waves, when do it refract or when do it reflect, then we come to know the internal structure of the earth. How could it be, sir? First I need to have a detailed explanation of what is a refraction. Here I will explain a refraction and reflection in brief. This is a physics concept, simple thing. This is a sparse region, so this will be a one medium. So remember this, this is one medium. So this is a one type of medium, and here comes the other medium. So this is mostly liquid medium, where I draw similar to the waves. This is considered as a liquid medium. This is sparse medium or air medium. So now if you consider what is refraction means, if a energy or a rays, some waves travel similar from this medium to this medium, it actually whenever a rays or waves is traveling, it should travel like this. So if it is a similar medium, it will travel like that. But if it is not a similar medium, the so called wave is deflected. What is it happening? Deflected. It is not going along the naturally designed path, it is getting deflected when it enters from one medium to the other medium. So here is the other medium. So here you have a other medium. This is the other medium. When the wave, seismic wave, travels from the one medium to the other medium, it will be deflected. Remember the word deflected. Deflected means this is called as a refraction. So you come to know what is refraction. Refraction means so called wave when move from one medium to the other medium, it will be deflected. So it will change the direction for as per se, a little change in the direction. So then it is called as the refraction. Now the similar way we shall understand what is reflection. Okay, now in the similar way we can understand what is a reflection. So this is a one medium. Okay, this is a one medium, and here comes the other medium. This will be like this. Yeah, now the ray or the wave cannot pass through this medium, so it cannot pass from one medium to other medium. It will get reflected. So it is getting reflected. So the ray or wave, so called seismic wave, when traveling from one medium, it is, this is a one medium, maybe anything, okay, solid or liquid, anything. This is other medium. So this is other medium. So when a seismic wave is traveling from one medium to other medium, so if it is unable to travel to the other medium and just get back to the same medium or reflected back to the same medium, this is called as a reflection. So now you know. So how could you say that based on the reflection, refraction, you can say that this is a internal structure of the so called earth. See here guys, for that we'll need to learn after seismic waves. You will be learning different types of seismic waves, in that P waves, S waves. Every waves has its own quality. So P waves can travel in all the spaces, which means liquid, gas and everything. Okay, so P waves can travel everywhere, but S waves cannot travel in liquid. So S waves only travels in solids. So now based on this example we can, don't worry guys, I'll be explaining the concepts called P waves and S waves in detail with prelims and mains perspective further, because here I can explain only one concept, that is seismic waves and its importance. I'll be teaching that later on. The types of seismic waves you can find P and S waves, there I will be teaching. But here when you come to know this so called P and S waves, here listen carefully. Here this P waves or S waves, when see here, if it is a P wave, it will travel with a refraction. So you can say that the presence of some, there is a change in the medium. So if it is reflected, if you send the same test using S waves, it will be reflected. So based on the reflection, you can say that there is a change in the medium. There is a liquid medium. What is it? Liquid medium. You can easily detect that liquid medium in the internal structure of the matter. And also based on the mineral composition, materials in the subsurface layer of the earth, we can detect the internal structure just using the seismic waves. Okay, you would have had a clarity of what is seismic waves, how it is happening, everything. Okay, now we need to understand how it is produced. So now we're gonna see how really is the how it is produced, how is the so called seismic wave is produced. We know that a natural factor it is happening. So okay, now let me have some clarity before that. In your childhood days, did you play the seven stones game? We say that seven stones game, there will be seven stones kept one above the other, one above the other, one above the other. So now as kid will be throwing a stone on it. So he will be throwing a ball or some ball type he will be throwing. There will be a number of teams, and after hitting that they will be running. So as I'm providing this example, remember this clearly. So if the ball hits a topmost layer, so here topmost stone means only this stone will fall. Yeah. So if the ball hits a surface, the stone which is at the surface, which means lower level. So if ball hits this stone, so what will be happening? With this stone, all the stones will fall. So because all the stones are mounted one above the other, so there is a pressure built on the stone which is in a lower layer. There is a frictional pressure, there is a potential pressure, there is a different types of forces acting on them. So when this so called stone or rock in the below, which means which is a lower level, is disturbed, automatically the other stones in the topmost layer will be slipping. If you understand this concept, now again I will explain how the seismic waves are formed. Okay guys, let us take as so called one, let us think this is as a earth. So here there is a fault, which means so called earth will not be always connected as a similar manner. There is a different number of plates. So this is called as fault line. What is it? It is called as a fault line, which means a connection between the two plates or two different sides. So here at this point, if any so called energy is released or something slipped, so any slip or anything happened, as I said earlier in the seven stones game, where a downward a lowermost stone is slipped. So similar way, there is a fault line, a slip has happened here, the large amount of energy is released. Okay, why? The topmost layer is providing high amount of pressure on that. Okay, there is a high amount of frictional force acting on that. So when this part is slipped, because of the frictional force, it is because of frictional force, which means a force between the two or three stones or many other heavy materials is frictional force, and the pressure mounted on it. So the pressure mounted on it, so there is an energy released. The energy released, the point where the energy is released at the beginning, starting point, is called as hypocenter. What is it? Hypocenter. This is in turn called as the focus. So focus. So this is the point where the seismic waves are formed. So this is also where earthquake starts. Okay, earthquake also starts at this point, so that only we call this point as, see here, focus. So straight above this, so here straight above this, to the surface point above this, the surface, which means closest surface to the point where so called focus is present, this point is called as epicenter. So remember this guys, that this question has been asked multiple times in UPSC. In prelims level, you need to know which is focus, which is hypocenter, both are the same, and also what is epicenter, and you need to know the definitions. Simple. So from here, a huge amount of energy is released. The energy which is released, this energy keeps on vibrating. so vibrating the surrounding regions. So the energy from where it keeps on vibrating the surrounding, so automatically this vibrating will travel in the form of waves. That waves is called as the seismic waves. So you would have had a clarity in this. Now this waves is called as seismic waves. This is also in turn called as the earthquake waves. So that this is also called as the earthquake waves. Okay guys, hope you had a clarity now what is seismic waves and how it had started. Now let us know different types of seismic waves. There are varieties of seismic waves, not only a similar same one. So we shall understand everything in detail. If you are considering seismic waves, so here if you are considering a seismic waves, be sure this is more and more and more important. Here this is considered as the two types of waves. One is body waves. What is it? Body waves. So other is so called surface waves. So other is surface waves. So which are called as body waves and which are called as surface waves. So I will be providing a clarity regarding that, don't worry. Here let me drag it to the down. So here, yeah, now see here, now this is earth. The waves travel inside the body of the earth are called as body waves. So now you had a clarity what is body waves, which means these waves travel inside the earth. So internal. So when the waves travel inside the earth, this is called as the body waves. And next, what is surface waves? See here, the waves that travel along the surface of the earth is called as the surface waves. So what is surface waves? Surface waves means the waves that travel on the surface of the earth. So this is called as the surface waves. Now in turn this body waves can be divided into two forms. One is P waves. So what is it? One is P waves and other is S waves. I will be providing a clarity regarding the so-called P waves and S waves, so don't worry. Okay guys, okay, now here let me come to the different types of surface waves. Surface waves means love waves. Okay, you have a love towards the waves. Yes, whenever you see the wave, you keep running. So then rally waves. Okay, rally waves. So we will be studying everything in separate manner, don't worry. If you want a video of a detailed explanation of the so-called body waves and surface waves separately in this concept oriented series, I will be providing for you in detail. Okay, now so I will be providing a basic details of this P waves and S waves and love waves and rally waves. Here guys, one thing, remember one thing. So P waves are similar to the sound waves. So P waves are similar to the sound waves. So they travel in a similar manner of the sound waves. And also if you are considering the seismic waves, the waves that primarily reaches the surface, which is the fastest waves. Remember this, fastest among the waves is seismic waves is P waves. This is the most important bit in your prelims and which is more important you need to know and learn. See here the important waves and also so fastest waves is P waves. This is the wave that reaches the surface as quick as possible. Whenever this reach the surface faster, then that is converted into surface wave. So now see here, I will provide one thing. These P waves are important in detecting the earthquake. Do you know that when an earthquake occurs, which waves help you first to detect the earthquake is none other than P waves. So this is very important, so that only we and fastest, this is the waves that travel fastest and reach the surface first. So this is called as the primary waves. So this is called as primary waves. Now you know why it is called as the primary waves. So later on the P waves, there comes the S waves. So this is called as the secondary waves. So what is it? Secondary waves. Okay, these both the waves when reaches the surface. So after reaching the surface, this will keep on converted into the surface waves. Okay, everything will be seen in a detail, don't worry. Before that, we need to know how this so-called earthquake is detected, or how can we detect this so-called seismic waves. Okay, the instrument that is used to detect the seismic waves is seismograph. What is it? Seismograph. So seismograph means what? It is an instrument. So seismograph means what? Instrument. So many students will be having a confusion related to that. Okay, so many students have a confusion related to different perspectives. I will be providing different clarities regarding this. Okay, seismograph means what? So seismograph means what? So seismograph means this is an instrument that is used to detect the seismic waves. So whenever a seismic waves approaches the earth, so we can detect using the seismograph. Yeah. Next, what is seismometer? Seismometer means it is part of the seismograph. So the seismometer is part of the seismograph, and this is a measurement meter. So here the measurement meter, this will provide the data of so-called seismo, which means the earthquake and everything. Whenever it happens, it will be measuring the seismic wave and provide the data. And also here, whenever the seismograph is collecting the data, there is a data called seismogram. What is seismogram? So for this you need to understand a so-called image for that. So everything is different, guys, but we think everything as a same. So you need to understand seismogram with graph or with some sort of indications. You know that, well, you are hearing your heartbeat, how it will be viewing in movies or cinemas or directly, it will be like this, no? So it will be like this. So similarly, when earthquake occurs, there will be a data that is drawn on the so-called surface or one sheet. So that is called as a seismogram. So the similar to this format, whatever represented based on the data, this is called as a seismogram. So you know, seismogram is representation of the wave. So how it had occurred, everything. Okay, now let us understand what is the function of the so-called seismograph. Okay, so based on the not seismograph, we are studying seismic waves, no? Yeah, we shall see the functions of the seismic waves, importance of the seismic waves, or functions of the seismic waves, how it could be helpful and how it is helpful. Okay, guys, seismic waves are that it can detect the time of the earth. So time of earthquake. So only the seismic waves are a greater example that will be measured through seismogram, and from that we will be come to know that when and what time the earthquake has occurred. And also seismic waves are the major source. We can find the epicenter, and so we can find the epicenter which is a surface point. So epicenter or surface point is a place where the seismic waves first reaches. So this is a place seismic waves first reaches. Okay, seismic waves first reaches a place called epicenter, mostly straightly above the surface, because this will be of the closest distance, and by that you can detect the depth. So from this we can see the depth where the earthquake has happened. Earthquake has happened below earth. The earthquake has happened below the earth. How much distance below the earth it had occurred, we can say or find this using the so-called seismic waves. And also seismic wave also help you in understanding the amount of energy. So amount of energy that has been released, the amount of energy can be detected by using seismic waves, that is to be detected using the seismograph. The amount of energy is detected by these so-called seismic waves. So overall, you know how these seismic waves are very important in detecting the earthquake and everything. So now you had a clear-cut understanding of what is seismic waves. So if you are ever writing mains, this whatever I had provided related to seismic waves will help you lot in more and more understanding. If you want a concept clarity in a P waves, S waves, and also Rayleigh or surface waves, that too I will be providing in a detail. Okay, so don't worry, that is based on your request and demands. Kindly like and comment, so that only we can provide that in detail for you, so that will be a final destination video that is more than enough to learn a subject. Okay, guys, yeah, before winding up, let me say similar as you have seen these images, I will explain these images how it is most important and what are these seismic waves. As we had discussed, seismic waves are P, S, Rayleigh and love waves, all the four combinedly called as seismic waves. Now P waves. P waves are similar to the form of sound waves. See here, I'm not going into detailed explanation of P and S waves. In further videos, whenever time permits or based on your request, I will be making the video on P and S waves or other surface waves. Here, this P waves has expansion and compression. See here, this is closely packed. Yeah, let me zoom it out so you can understand in clear. So this P wave, see here, this is sparsely packed, this is closely packed, sparsely packed and closely packed, sparsely packed and closely packed. So continuously this so-called P waves will travel in a form that is expansions and compressions and expansions. Similar to the sound wave, this will be traveling. And next, if you come to the S wave, this is similar to the water. So whenever you see a ocean, water, that will be like a flow. So this will be flowing like a water. Like if you take a tub, so if you take a tub and it is filled with water, and if you disturb it, so it will be flowing similar to the S waves. S waves also flow in the same way. And next, Rayleigh waves. So here S waves will travel inside the earth. So S waves will mostly travel inside the earth, which is inside the earth, not to the surface. But Rayleigh waves are it is similar to, for example, it is a little bit similar to the S waves, but this will be traveling on the surface. On the surface, it will be traveling like a wave. So it will be traveling like a wave-like pattern. So this is called as the Rayleigh waves. Okay, this is called as the Rayleigh wave, which is more and more and more and more important, because see here, guys, P and S waves don't even cause a single damage because they are interior to the earth. Though, so they don't cause any damage to the surface of the earth. But the waves that damage the surface is none other than Rayleigh and Love waves. So Rayleigh and Love waves travel along the surface of the earth. So they travel along surface of the earth. So surface of the earth means continuously, that will be the main reason why earth surface will be tampered, and all the living beings, infrastructure, everything will be shattered because of these waves. So that Rayleigh waves will be traveling in a wave form, and here Love waves means it will be zigzag pattern. So forward, see here, it will be forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, zigzag pattern. Okay, so mostly this is not as a similar pattern, it will be a zigzag pattern. So this Love waves is the waves which you love the most, but this is the most dangerous waves ever. This is the waves that will cause more and more and more damages. If you are ever studying earthquake topic, as I had mentioned this topic in clear, you need to study apart from the topic, which are all the concept you must have a clear cut clarity is what is body waves. Okay, body waves means what, you need to know a concept clarity, then you need to have a concept clarity on surface waves. Surface waves, and again, so there is a difference in this body waves, there will be a creation of the shadow zone. So this is the most important concept that will be mostly asked in UPSC mains and prelims perspective, that is shadow waves. So you need to also concentrate on so called shadow waves and have a concept clarity on it. So these are all the concepts that you need to be extra clarified about the so called geography. So here you can see S waves and P waves, how they are different. I can provide some examples of these P waves, guys. See here, compression and freedom means, for example, it will be like when you are driving a car, brake and accelerate, brake, accelerate, brake, accelerate. Such type of traveling, if you are traveling, then you will face that zigzag position. So that is a condition which is similar to the traveling of the P waves. Okay, so but this is interior to the earth, so that doesn't cause any major damage. Okay guys, now you have had a clarity in the topic called seismic waves. So if you have any doubts, you can comment, and also here with your comments only we keep on working more for your examinations and for your learning capabilities. This is me, SPR, signing off. Have a nice day. Bye bye, take care. We'll be meeting you in the next video in the next concept clarity.